Hi, Dr. Ian, and I want to talk about holistic sinus care. So chronic sinusitis has become a normal way of life for some patients, and sinus symptoms can manifest in tooth and facial pain, but also just a bit of a general stuffiness and also postnasal drip. So sinus problems can cause severe toothache though, and this is important, especially in the first upper molars, which is back here. And it's important for your dentist to know that you do suffer from sinusitis to aid him or her against misdiagnosis of and any unnecessary treatment that comes from that misdiagnosis. So when you go to your doctor with sinusitis, normally the first line of defense would be a course of antibiotics or a decongestant. There's also surgical options if it doesn't react on any of the medication. But not all of us would like to go that far to relieve these problems. So maybe we should just go on to say first what sinusitis is, and it could be an infection or an inflammation of the mucosal membranes, which is the linings, much like the inside of the mouth, of the bony cavities in the head. Now, cavities are not like decay in tooth, it's like an air passage, like a little cave. And what happens if the lining gets inflamed and infected, the draining of the sinus gets blocked and it builds up pressure, which is what leads to the discomfort. Now, antibiotics may be a good option in some of the really severe acute cases, but long term it kind of has a counter effect. There are more and more professionals now understanding that antibiotics may not be the way to go for patients and for society as a whole. So hence the video to kind of talk about the natural options. I'm not discarding the pharmaceutical options, but kind of going more towards the natural. Antibiotics can create dysbiosis, which is kind of a disbalance in bacteria, and then the overgrowth of that certain bacteria can cause further problems down the line. Why do we have sinuses in the first place, or sinus cavities in the first place? And there's plenty of theories out there, from making the head lighter to helping with the voice. But from a holistic point of view, kind of the more important theory is the generation of nitric oxide, a little gas, in the paranasal sinuses. And this gas has an immense effect on our health, from blood pressure to antibacterial to antifungal to plenty of other benefits, too long to go into in this video, and there's plenty of information on our website. And let's just go to the kind of holistic treatment of sinus. So medically, a non-invasive, non-chemical option would be high volume lavage or the traditional neti pot, and you get little squirty bottles with a salty solution up the one nostril and down the other. It's not a great pastime though, and it helps in draining the sinuses. Medication does help short term, like I said, decongestant, but it has a lot of side effects. And let's see if we can treat the cause rather than the symptoms. So essential oils have been used for a long period of time as far as their natural decongestant, or some of the oils' decongestant properties. And we kind of, people fall into two kind of camps on it, where one camp believes that it doesn't work and the others swear by it. And I think that both of those viewpoints have merit, but only in a sense that I believe in a threshold theory, where if there is a physical obstruction or an anatomical problem, then no amount of decongestant medically prescribed or oil is going to make any difference. And then it's easy for people to say, but those oils don't work. However, if there isn't, in the absence of those obstructions, those oils can be very effective. And there's other natural things as well that can help, like vitamin C and garlic and horseradish to help shrink those mucosal membranes down and help with draining. But in certain cases, a medical practitioner needs to be involved in the correction of these physical anatomical obstructions. So medical treatment may involve the surgery, like I just said, in some cases, and in some cases it's the only solution. An alternative non-surgical dental option is forward dental orthopedics, or we like to refer to it as orthodontics for health. And what we do is we kind of increase the nasal passages. That increase of nasal passage then helps with airflow and better drainage, and nitric oxide has a huge effect on that. And the use of these natural decongestants can make a huge difference. So do small changes here and there, and then we have a threshold theory where it all adds and has a large effect. We also use other devices and options to kind of train nasal breathing, because nasal breathing is very important for the sinus care. And one is just a chin strap to just gently close the mouth and aid in nasal breathing, and to nasal breathing exercises. And the significant benefit of the nasal breathing is a large topic, and it is kind of overlooked in the mainstream media, professionals, and in a layperson, because everybody breathes and they don't kind of care where the breath comes from. We do, and we see it as our mission to educate and to enhance nasal breathing and the significant health benefits that goes with that. And we feel it's very important in our mission to help on this basis. And thank you for listening.